a swordsmanship family dominating half the world. The Zankenden lineage, a renowned swordsmanship clan with all members born with superior physical strength and talent, had mastered the world through extraordinary courage, fighting, conquering, and subduing. The three things mentioned above fully describe this family. This is where Jin was born, the youngest son of the Zankanden house. In the selection ritual where a child's future is decided, Jin chose the sword of the family head who would lead this clan. Jin's father was quite pleased and expectant with his choice. He praised his son for choosing exactly as I hoped, the sword of the founder, the symbol of the Zankanden people. Interestingly, Jin thought that his future would be filled with success and fame, but a truth shattered all his hopes. What does it mean? Jin had to painfully accept that he had no talent for swordsmanship. Around him, there were always countless mocking words. How could a member of the Zankanden lineage wield a sword so clumsily like that? The shame of Zankanden, the humiliation of Zankanden, a person far from the standards of Zankanden, idiot, the most pathetic among all Zankanden members. When Jin was diligently practicing with a wooden sword in his hand, his two older brothers also approached. Tona mocked. "Hey Jin, you're swinging that useless wooden sword again." Tona joined in. "Leave him be. I guess he won't use any sword unless it's special." They burst into laughter. The worry clearly showed on his face. Where is that special sword, right? Where is Barasada? Why is he swinging a wooden sword like that? Jin endured and continued practicing swordsmanship. No matter how harsh the words were, he still gritted his teeth and bore it. Seeing Jin show no reaction, Tona approached closer with an arrogant attitude. "Why don't you answer your noble older brother who's asking you?" He became more aggressive and kicked hard into Jin's stomach, making him fall to the ground. Tona stood from above, looking at Jin sprawled on the ground, and became even more smug. Useless guy. Jin then tried to turn and pick up his fallen wooden sword. But as he was about to grab it, the foot of the other brother stepped on his hand. While stepping, he told Jin, "Why are you so stubborn about that thing? It's useless anyway." As he said that, he stepped even harder as if to crush Jin's hand along with the wooden sword. Jin gritted his teeth, enduring the bone-piercing pain without uttering a single cry. At that moment, Daytona found a book on him. He laughed even more gleefully. "Ha ha ha, what is this? Basic swordsmanship theory." Daytona crumpled the book in his hand, looking at Jin with contemptuous eyes. "You think you'll get better just by reading some swordsmanship theories? That's why weaklings like you shouldn't get opportunities." Tona held the wooden sword in his hand with malicious eyes. Seeing him about to break the sword, Jin shouted in fear, "Stop, give it back to me." They ignored Jin's pleas. Just like that, they ruthlessly broke the wooden sword. "Because you were given an opportunity, brother," Jin shouted in despair. Wait, he not only broke the wooden sword, but the book was also torn into small pieces by Daytona. "You forgot your place." Jin could only sit there blinking, watching them trample his belongings stop. The two of them had completely extinguished Jin's hope, and he continued clinging to hope. Jin now sat dazed on the ground, looking at the scattered wood pieces everywhere in despair. "You two didn't need to do that." Jin hadn't finished his sentence when Haytona from behind grabbed Jin's hair and pulled it back. He fiercely asked, "What did you say? We did it for your own good. Why do you keep arguing? Is that what your nanny taught you?" Hearing them mention the nanny, Jin immediately retorted, "Julie has nothing to do with this." The more Jin resisted, the more they bullied him. "Looking at how you challenge us, it seems we need to teach you how to behave." In Jin's eyes at that moment, his two brothers were like two cruel and inhumane demons. Jin dragged his painful body because he was bullied by his own family members. He still struggled to stand up resolutely, maintaining his will. Initially bullied by his brothers, the talent that doesn't exist, "I don't care about those things. I just need to try my best. If I try, I will surely be recognized by the family and become part of Zankenden. That's what I believe." But then all my efforts were still not recognized. On a day with blue clouds and golden sunshine, Jin was still heartlessly expelled from the family. "Jin, from this moment, you are expelled from the family." Standing before the great gate of the Ranzankenden family, Jin could only stand there silently, then sigh. All stubborn efforts and desires for recognition ultimately vanished into smoke. Because of those commendable efforts, Jin clenched his fist with clear reluctance on his face. But then what? He still had to accept the truth that he had been expelled by the family. This is how he was expelled from the family at age 25 and began wandering aimlessly everywhere. Only when he met his master did Jin realize he truly had talent. Not only that Jin had talent for magic, which was forbidden in the family. 3 years later in the study room, Jin was still diligently researching magic connecting mana in nature and the mage's mana for recovery, then enhancing the converted mana amount. While Jin was still diligently researching magic, a shadow appeared behind him. From this moment, the shadow flickered in and out until Jin realized he had been taken to another space. Everywhere was enveloped in darkness. Jin immediately heightened his vigilance. He quickly asked, "Who are you?" The shadow with a tall figure and cold aura resounded. "I am Sodater, the Lord of Shadows Jin. I want to make a contract with you as the God of Darkness. If you sign the contract with me, you can not only use the power of darkness but also have the ability to erase all curses." After saying that, the large shadow glanced and saw on Jin's body a curse in the shape of a sword surrounding him. He pointed at it. "Oh heavens, you made a pact. It seems you were hated by someone since childhood. Your talent was erased by a lowly curse." Jin, since being brought into the space, was extremely surprised now. Discovering such a shocking truth, he immediately froze on the spot, confusedly asking, "Curse?" The shadow briefly explained for Jin to understand. Yes, that curse is called Illusion Sword, the thing that blocks talent for swordsmanship, a terrible curse that couldn't exist in the Zankanden family. The curse is a sphere inside sealing a sword and wrapped by countless iron chains around the entire sphere, emitting a bright red light as if to burn the sword. The shadow reached out, touching the sphere, then slowly removed each chain segment. "I understand. Perhaps it is what attracted me to you from now on. No curse can harm you anymore." As soon as he finished speaking, the entire sphere, along with the chains sealing Jin's swordsmanship power, also shattered into fragments and disappeared. Jin widened his eyes in surprise at the power of the shadow before him. Everything happened so fast that he hadn't reacted yet. The shadow, after completely removing the curse for Jin, quickly left. "What is still lacking is you must become a superior magic swordsman. Jin, I am honored to follow you." After saying that, the shadow quickly disappeared, returning Jin to his original position. After returning to the study room, Jin stood stunned for a while to digest all the information that just happened. It took a long time before he reacted, as if to verify what the shadow said was true. Jin quickly ran to grab the sword, then stepped quickly out the door. He immediately swung the sword, recalling what he had learned, showing a bit indeed. As soon as the sword was drawn from the sheath, it brought a hidden power inside each swing, carrying a whirlwind sweeping everything around. Just as Sodater said, each sword swing Jin could reach a new height. Jin immersed himself in practice. It was a feeling he had never experienced before, so light without feeling any weight, like he was just swinging his arm. Recalling the mocking words from before, Jin was like being fueled with energy, practicing tirelessly, the idiot, the most pathetic in the history of the Rankanden family. Now one sword slashed down, carrying terrifying power, the strength he always wanted to have. Suddenly, Jin thought of a bold idea. If I add magic think, and do Jin immediately cast magic combining with the sword's power? This is a terrifying combination. One sword path passing like a storm of wind and lightning, all existence erased. Seeing the result, Jin was quite satisfied. Finally, his efforts achieved results. Not long after rejoicing, the image of Jin practicing sword with astonishing power was seen by a knight legion. They were also secretly evaluating him. After a dizzy faint, when Jin woke up, what met his eyes was a chaotic scene. In his ears were screams. "I just heard something," screams. Jin wanted to stand up, but his body now was crushed under a rock, blood continuously flowing out, soaking around. Jin weakly called out, "My body is heavy for some reason." Jin lay there helplessly. He was unwilling. He had just achieved a little success and had to go meet the Grim Reaper so soon. He was not resigned even, so he still called for help in vain. "Master, Sodater, is anyone here? I can't believe I died right while sleeping after all. Am I just a useless guy? Even I didn't have a chance to use the magic and power of Sodater that I received. If things are like this, why was I given an opportunity?" Jin, just like that, went to meet the Grim Reaper in the ruins. Suddenly, in the blink of an eye, he saw himself awake before him. His face was all members of the Zankanden family. He wondered in his mind, "Family members, what is happening? I definitely died already." Around him now was a lush green grass field planted with countless swords. Beside him, Julie smiled brightly, comforting, "Cheer up, young Master Jin." He stared blankly at that smile, then wondered, "Julie, why is she here?" Suddenly from afar, Jin saw a glowing sword. It was radiant and beautiful, surpassing the surrounding swords. He just glanced and immediately recognized that sword is Barisada. After observing the current situation around Jin, also realized he was now at the selection ritual. He had returned to the past, becoming Jin at 1 year old, the youngest young master. At this time, he, like in the previous life, would still choose that sword. Jin crawled step by step closer, then slowly reached out to touch the sword Barisada, the sword of power. Jin turned back to look at the family members. He silently determined, having chosen the family head's sword. In this life, I will make my own choices. Seeing Jin touch the family head's sword, all members of the Ranzankanden family widened their eyes and mouths in shock. How could the blade of the clan leader, young Master Jin, cut off the buzzing discussions? The family elder spoke. Young Master has chosen Barisada. The selection ritual ends here. Take the young master to Thunder Arena. 6 years later at Thunder Arena, the sky poured rain heavily with thunder, and lightning competing to strike booming. Inside the library with countless towering bookshelves, Jin, now still just a child, was trying to reach for a book, but his height was limited, he couldn't reach it. Jin quickly pulled a chair over and stood on it. He thought to himself, I've been at Thunder Arena for 6 years already. According to the family rules, I have to live here until 15 years old, so 3 more years boring. While lost in thought, a scream shattered the quiet atmosphere surrounding the house. Jin, startled, directed to the door, asking what's wrong. The maid, scared with a pale face, fell to the ground in the young master's room. There's a dead bird. Jin calmly stepped forward to observe, seeing a bird with pure white feathers slashed across the belly, blood dyeing the feathers, red looking, extremely gruesome. Seeing the bird's corpse, Jin frowned. He immediately knew who the culprit was, the only one who could do such things in Thunder Arena. Just as he predicted, the culprits also appeared. They, upon seeing the maid's panicked face, immediately mocked. Ah, look at her, so pitiful. Seeing the gleeful face for successfully doing evil, Jin endured, turning away, then handled the bird's corpse. My older brother's here. Tona laughed joyfully, but he was a bit regretful. Tisk, the maid, saw it first. What a waste. Tona gave a malicious smile. Joining in. Right indeed. We brought it for you to see with our own hands. So how do you like the gift from your brothers? Are you touched to tears? Jin silently looked at the bird corpse in his hand, then remembered the previous life. These my older brothers. I know they will be notorious killers after becoming vanguards, but children not yet 9 years old just killing an innocent bird to mess with me. Seeing Jin silent, they thought he was scared, so laughed even more joyfully. Tona grinned sleazily, staring at Jin. Don't actually cry. Okay, it's ugly. After still not seeing Jin react, they lost patience. Hey, do you hear what we're saying? So you mean you don't need to regard us because you chose the clan leader's fate? Right, why can a guy like you walk around without carrying Barisada? Jin had gradually lost all patience with the two of them. He sighed. Tona became more and more mocking. He approached Jin, provoking, say something. You speak too softly, I can't hear. After saying that, Tona grabbed Jin's shoulder, channeling all strength into the punch, wanting to punch Jin hard. But what he thought didn't happen at all. Jin was faster than him. With one move, blocked the punch. Tona felt Jin's magic power too terrifying. He fearfully widened his eyes, looking at Jin like seeing a demon. Jin turned back, looking straight into his eyes, threatening. You guys are too noisy. Shut up, then quickly punched straight into Tona's face, making him fall backward. Tona was hit, but he still hadn't realized the danger, so was still mouthy. You didn't let Tona's dog mouth continue. Jin had punched another one, making him immediately collapse. After delivering 2 consecutive divine punches, making Tona unable to lift his head, Jin then angrily wanted to teach these two a proper lesson. I've endured enough until now. I can't endure anymore. A straight punch to the stomach, lifting Tona up, then throwing him straight to the ground. After thoroughly beating the 2 brothers to a pulp, now Jin comfortably retracted the magic on his hand. From now on, it would be better if you don't appear before me anymore. Suddenly, from outside, a guardian knight entered. After seeing the situation, immediately asked young master, What is this? Jin quickly hid his hand, with lingering magic aura behind. Khan asked again. Young master Jin, what is this? His eyes directed to the 2 brainless brothers, beaten black and blue, lying there. Jin coldly glanced at the 2 brothers lying on the ground. They suddenly rushed in and fought each other. That's all. Obviously, Khan didn't believe. He asked again. What, sir? Jin turned back, looking at him with impatient attitude. Didn't you hear what I said? They fought each other and fainted. Khan saw the wounds on their bodies, then thought, indeed, even the youngest young master of the Ranzangkandan house is ruthless. Although thinking that, but outwardly, he didn't ask more. So that's it. I understand, sir. I will take brothers Tano to see the doctor. Jin coldly ordered no need Khan. My brothers need to go to another place. Jin then ordered Khan to drag brothers. Tano, follow him, follow me. Outside the rain poured, creating large puddles. Jin pointed to a grave, intending for Khan to leave the brothers lying on it. Khan placed the two children down, but still reluctant. He asked young Master Jin, "Sir, do you really want to leave them here? The storm is getting stronger, sir." Jin stood under the raincoat, thinking about the outrageous actions they had done. Jin then didn't want to forgive them his face without emotion. My brothers need to understand the severity of what they did. Seeing that determined face, Khan immediately obeyed the order. I will respect your decision, sir, young master.